Hey everybody, welcome to another After Effects CS6 tutorial. I'm your host, Buddy Blackford, and in this tutorial I want to go over how to create some fake reflections without using plugins in After Effects. Now, these reflections aren't going to be as cool as some of the plugins you can find on the internet, but if you don't have any of those or you can't find any plugins, then you can use this technique and it'll get the job done to pretty much a satisfactory result. So what we need to do is I have a comp made here and I need to import some stuff. So I'm going to come here to my images and I'm just going to import my image of the floor that I have, if I can find it. Wooden background, there we go. And I need to create a camera also, because this is going to be in 3D. So here's my camera, and I want to set it to 50mm because that's what I like, and hit OK. And now I've got this wooden background. I'm going to make it 3D, and I'm going to rotate this so it's a floor. So I'm going to go to my orientation and rotate it on this on the first axis here, the x-axis. I'm going to go 180 and see what that gives me. Nope, not that much. About 90. And then drag it down. And now we can see that there's a floor there. Now it's a little too big, so I'm going to scale it down a little bit so it looks kind of more real. There we go. So now we've got a floor going on here. I'll drag it down a little more. Scale it down a little more. Alright. I'm going to turn off my transparency, and actually I'm going to throw just a black background in there just for looks. Put it all the way in the back. Okay. Now what we need to do is bring in something to create a reflection off of. So let's just select any picture here, and let's see if I can find one that's halfway decent. There we go. Drag this in, and we're also going to make that a 3D layer. And what I want to do is set the anchor point of this layer to the very bottom. So what I'm going to do is press A for anchor point and click on it, the anchor point here, and press right click and click on edit value. And I want to change my units here to % of source and set the X to 50 and then the Y to 100. And that's going to put it right at the bottom. And that's a quick way for you to get right to the bottom if you're trying to do that there. So I'm going to drag this down to where it's right intersecting with the ground. I'm going to check my views to make sure this is in this is in a good position. So it's right in the middle, which is what we want. Now, unfortunately, lights in After Effects, they don't cast reflections, so this is why I'm teaching you how to make the reflections in like a fake way. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this picture that we have, and we're going to go to the scale property, unlink the scale, and make this negative 100. And all that's going to do is flip the image. So I'm in my custom view now, and I can look down here and the image is just flipped. So there we go for that. And being in your custom view helps a lot for this. So now we have the problem that the wooden background is over top of this picture that we have here. So we need to put the wooden background or wooden floor here in between. And then we're going to go to toggle switches and modes, and we're going to set that to screen. And now you can see how this might be able to show off as a reflection. Now what I want to do is make sure that when I animate any positions or anything like that for my picture here, that it pretty much it's parented to the other picture. So first of all, I need to rename my objects so that they don't get confused. So I'm going to change this one to bush reflection, and then I'm going to parent this bush reflection to the regular bush there, and then I'm going to switch these so the reflection is underneath the wood. The next thing I need to do is set the track matte of the reflection here to alpha matte. And now the wooden background is gone, so I need to turn it back on. And it's just going to cut out the alpha part over where the reflection is. And now, since the reflection is probably too long and doesn't really totally look like a reflection, we need to add some effects to it. So let's go to Effect, and we're going to add a transition called Linear Wipe. We're going to set that linear wipe to 180 for the wipe angle, so when we wipe it's going to just go straight up and down. And transition complete, we're going to make that so it's not as long, and then we're going to feather it out so it looks like the reflection is fading off. So we have that going on there. Let's check our camera to see what it looks like. Looks like we need to zoom our camera out a little. So if I can't zoom it out too much because the floor is too far. So let me bring the floor forward using this Y here.